let's talk about money.
Get a little money,
Yes, I do love helping people find their homes, and I would do it out of the goodness of my heart, except I need to get paid. I've got 5 cats to feed. If you're just getting into your first real estate transaction, you probably have 2 basic questions about the real estate agent's fee. Who pays for it? And how much does it cost? Let's get into it. As is the case with a lot of sales professions, real estate agents work on commission. We don't get paid hourly, and unfortunately, we don't get paid to just sit around. Looking at you, former corporate job. Most realtors work as self-employed independent contractors as opposed to employees. Employees are typically entitled to things like medical benefits and paid leave, but they're also beholden to the rules and regulations of that company and the job expectations set forth by them. Independent contractors are given a little more freedom to spend their work days as they like, but they're also responsible for things like paying their own medical insurance and those ever pesky income taxes.
Who's FICA? Why is he getting all my money?
So keeping that in mind, while a real estate agent is an independent contractor, their money's got to come from somewhere. In a home buying transaction, the real estate agent's commission percentage comes entirely from the seller's profit. So if your house sells for $500,000, you'll carve out a percentage to go towards those agent fees. So what about the buyer? If you're on the buyer side, what do you have to pay? Well, the good news is you don't really have to pay anything. The chunk of commission money that the seller sets aside to pay the agents goes to both the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. So if you're the buyer, that money is coming out of the seller agent's cut and not yours. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're buying a house, get a buyer's agent. Like, it's free.
It's free. It's what?
So that commission percentage is negotiated by the seller and the seller's agent, and it's formalized by being written into the listing agreement. So this commission percentage, it can vary widely, and it's always up for negotiation between the listing agent and the seller. Just casting a wide net here, we're gonna say a ballpark is about 4 to 6%. So on a $500,000 sale, that commission percentage is gonna come out to between $20,000 and $30,000. An agent can tell you upfront what they think is a fair commission percentage, and they can definitely refuse to work with you if you're not willing to pay them that. For instance, I would never take a listing that's 2%. It's definitely not enough money. However, competing brokerages cannot get together and conspire to set a going rate. That is called price fixing, and it is strictly prohibited by the Sherman Antitrust Act, a federal anti-monopoly law that was passed in 1890. I saved my real estate textbook just for moments like this. So bottom line, this is definitely a negotiable amount, but your agent is gonna have an idea of what they think they're worth, and it's up to you whether you feel like that amount is fair. So these concepts that I've explained are all well and good, but how does it apply in a real world situation? Let's take it back to middle school math class for a second and do a nice old fashioned story problem. Don't click away from the video. It's gonna be fun, I promise. Just stay put. I'm gonna make it worth your while. Wanda Maximoff is selling her house. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath in Westview, New Jersey, where nothing strange is going on at all. No, sir. She hires local realtor Carol Danvers to sell it, and they both decide on a 5% commission. Carol puts the house up on the market, and buyer's agent Natasha Romanoff brings her buyer, Pepper Potts, to come see it. Pepper absolutely loves the house for her and her daughter Morgan, and everyone agrees to a purchase price of $500,000. That may sound like a lot of money, but this house exists in at least 5 decades simultaneously, so there's a lot of value there. 5% of $500,000 is $25,000, and that's the amount that Wanda is going to set aside for Carol and Natasha. Carol and Natasha split the $25,000 down the middle, so they each get $12,500. This money is going to get split one more time between the agent and her brokerage. And that split percentage really varies from brokerage to brokerage. But for example's sake, we're going to say there's a 70-30 split. So of that $12,500 per agent, 70% is going to go to the agent and 30% is going to go to the brokerage. leaving Carol and Natasha with $8,750 left. Not bad for a day's work. It's actually quite more than a day, but not bad either way. Keep in mind how much time and effort both Carol and Natasha have put into this transaction by the time they finally get to the closing table and get that check. Carol, on the listing side, has to pay for marketing materials, staging for the house, her own operating costs like her home office, client management software, and don't forget medical insurance and taxes. Natasha, on the buyer's side, spent countless days and hours showing Pepper all sorts of different houses in the area that she might like, talking her through the first-time home buying process. And she also has operating costs like a home office, client management software, gas mileage, and again, medical insurance and taxes. At the end of the day, the amount of money a real estate agent actually takes home as their net pay turns out to be not quite as much as you expect. Even that $8,750, if you extrapolate that out to say 12 closings in a year or one per month, it comes out to $105,000. That might sound like a ton of money, but again, that's before taxes and every single expense under the sun. But I did really want to drive this home because I feel like it's easy to look at that $20,000 to $30,000 price tag and think that is so much money. Take into account the breakdown that I just did. That 4 to 6% looks nothing like $20,000 to $30,000 by the time it makes it to the real estate agent's pocket. But if you're still reeling from the sticker shock, if you look around, you might find some ways to kind of game the system and get out of paying that commission percentage. One of the major ways is going for sale by owner. This is a process where you completely bypass the real estate agent and pretty much do everything yourself. Saving 4 to 6% when you're selling your house can be super appealing. So I completely understand why a lot of people feel like they want to go this route. But a lot of people who choose to go for sale by owner kind of end up with a rude awakening. Selling a house is actually pretty complicated. That's why real estate agents exist. We're a profession that's here to help and make these transactions better for you, not just here to siphon all the money out of your pocket. If you look around the internet, you're gonna see a bazillion real estate agents talking about why you shouldn't do for sale by owner. So I don't feel the need to hammer home this point too much, but it is important to note that there's a reason a real estate agent is charging you money to help with your transaction, and that's because they have expertise and they have the resources available to help you. One thing you're gonna see a lot of, especially with new technology and a lot more home searches being done primarily online, is what we call a discount brokerage. That's going to be something like Redfin or Rex. There are a couple others on the market, but I'm going to talk about Redfin and Rex specifically because those are the only ones I did specific research on and took notes before I started filming this video. Rex, which is short for Real Estate Exchange, is currently in 16 states in the US, including New Jersey. Rex touts a very low commission percentage to sell your house, something in the realm of 2%. The primary disadvantage to this is Rex is not part of any multiple listing service, which is where real estate agents go specifically to post their listings and to search for listings for their clients. Now, Rex likes to say that the MLS is outdated, and well, there is some truth to that. Bypassing the MLS entirely really puts you at a disadvantage because that's where so much of the market is living, is on that MLS. So going outside of it, you're suddenly working with a much smaller buyer pool. The other thing Rex touts is that they don't charge a percentage for the buyer's agent. As someone who works as a buyer's agent a lot, I find this, we'll say, highly problematic. Let's be perfectly honest. If I have a buyer who's looking for a house and they show me a Rex listing, I know up front that that seller doesn't want to pay me, so why would I bring my buyer? Redfin does largely the same thing, but they do specifically say they'll pay the buyer's commission. So similar principle, slightly better benefits, but a higher commission percentage for the seller overall. Ultimately, it comes down to what you feel the value of a real estate agent is. There's a reason realtors charge 4 to 6% commission. It's because we do a lot of work and we deserve to get paid like anybody who does a lot of work. But look, I get it. It is a humongous chunk of money, and nobody can force you to spend more than you want. I just encourage you to consider the value you get from a realtor and decide if it's worth the cost for you. If you've got a good realtor on your side, you shouldn't feel like you're overpaying. You shouldn't feel like you're getting scammed. It should feel like paying someone the appropriate amount for the services they provide. 6% commission. Because I'm worth it. I just got a haircut, so I was really excited to do that just now. Thank you so much for watching. What other real estate questions do you have for me? Please leave a comment below if there's something you want me to talk about. I am here for your questions. As always, please like this video and subscribe for more riveting content like this. Alrighty, I'll see you next time. Bye! Paying your realtor. Paying your realtor. Meow!